Stop cutting calories if you can't lose belly fat. If you're already training hard and eating clean, your issue isn't laziness, it's cortisol. And traditional fitness advice is actually making your belly fat worse. Today, I'm going to show you the exact mechanism trapping your belly fat. Then I'll give you 3 actionable steps to finally drop those inches. No new diet, no extra cardio. Let's dive in. I'm Akash, board certified holistic nutritionist and founder of Fabulous Body. And 10 years ago, I was that guy, training consistently, eating clean, still carrying lots of visceral fat I couldn't explain. My discipline wasn't the problem. My cortisol was completely dysregulated. At that time, I didn't know. And understanding this one mechanism changed everything for me. And since that, I've managed to keep my belly fat in check, and I'm sure it will help you stay lean potentially for life. Let's start with basic science. Your body has different types of fat. One is the subcutaneous fat, which is the fat underneath your skin. And then there is a visceral fat, which is the belly fat, the hard fat that surrounds your organs. Visceral fat is not just an aesthetic problem. It is a metabolic problem. It drives inflammation. It impairs insulin. It kills your testosterone. But here's the most important part. Visceral fat cells have up to 4 times as many cortisol receptors as fat cells anywhere else in your body. Let that sink in. 4 times the receptors. This means when your cortisol is chronically elevated, your midsection acts like a sponge. It responds more aggressively than any other part of your body. It holds fat, it accumulates fat, and it refuses to release it even when you're starving yourself in a caloric deficit. So even when you're in a caloric deficit, but your cortisol is maxed out from work pressure, poor sleep, and training too hard without recovering, your body is literally telling your visceral cells to hold on for dear life. And then you do the worst thing possible. You go to the gym and train harder. That adds another massive cortisol spike on top of your elevated baseline, because exercise is a stressor. And for a person whose nervous system is already stuck in fight or flight mode, more training just equals more cortisol, which equals more visceral fat retention. You are working harder and making the exact problem worse. Now, before I give you the 3 levers that will actually reduce your belly fat, I want to quickly mention that I created a complete system for this called the Empower Health Pyramid. The foundation of this pyramid is the nervous system, and when you balance it, your cortisol normalizes. Comment Empower if you want free access. Now let's get straight to lever number 1, which is prioritize sleep over training. Yes, you heard that right. Most people attack belly fat by training more sessions, more intensity, more volume. But for a cortisol dominant person, this is the exact wrong instinct. Before you add a single training session, you must fix your sleep. 7 hours minimum, non-negotiable, and here's why. Deep sleep is the only window where your cortisol genuinely drops to its absolute lowest point, and your growth hormone peaks. Growth hormone is your primary fat burning hormone, specifically for visceral fat. So no deep sleep means no growth hormone release. No growth hormone means no visceral fat mobilization. And that is true regardless of how clean your diet is or how hard you train. Fix the sleep first. Everything else works better when you do. Lever number 2, train differently, not more. 2 to 3 strength training sessions per week, 45 minutes maximum, full recovery between those sessions. And this produces a cortisol spike that resolves quickly, followed by a testosterone and growth hormone response that drives fat mobilization. Long runs and back-to-back HIIT sessions feel productive, but for a person with elevated cortisol, well, they are just prolonging the problem. Okay. Lever number 3, which is very important, lower the cortisol load outside the gym. And here's one thing you must absolutely understand about the stress response. It is supposed to be a cycle. It has a beginning and it must have an end. So for example, at 8 a.m., you get an angry email from your boss. Cortisol spikes, and if you do not actively clear it, that cortisol stays circulating in your blood. And then at 8 a.m., a frustrating comment from a colleague triggers another spike. Your nervous system, basically, it's like a seesaw, okay? And it's completely tipped towards the fight or flight or the sympathetic nervous system. And to complete that stress cycle, you need to tip the seesaw back into the rest and digest or the calm parasympathetic state, which means you need to take frequent breaks. And I don't mean scrolling on social media or stepping out for a smoke. I mean a break where you simply be. Just deep diaphragmatic breathing. If you work from home like me, or if you have your own office, lie down on a sofa, turn your phone on silent, close your eyes, and if your body is tired and wants a quick nap, allow it. I have taken naps, short naps for decades. A 10 to 15 minute nap is one of the most powerful tools you have to clear out your cortisol and finally close that stress loop. I will say this again, you must find ways throughout the day and absolutely after sunset to allow your body to calm down. Shift back into the parasympathetic nervous system state. Turn off your stress and your body will finally turn off belly fat production. Fix these 3 levers and within weeks you will lose inches of your belly without any change in your diet. If you need the Empower course access, comment Empower below to get free access. I'm Akash.